Life doesn't ask permission. One moment you're steady, then the ground disappears. That's the 10%, heartbreak, failure, betrayal. You can't control it. But here's the truth, storms don't define you, your response does. That's the 90%. Every reaction is a seed. And what you choose to grow, becomes the story you leave behind.
The crash of the 10% life doesn't ask for permission before it throws you off balance. One moment, you're calm, steady, moving through your day, and then, without warning, something shifts. Traffic jams. Spilled coffee. That one email that makes your stomach knot. A phone call you weren't expecting. A heartbreak you never saw coming. A failure that burns your pride. These are the curveballs, the blind sides, the chaos that reminds us how little control we truly have. This is the 10% of life, the part you never chose, the part that feels like the world is pushing against you with no mercy. At first, it crushes you. Your chest tightens. Your mind spins out, already forecasting disaster. Why me? Why now? What did I do to deserve this? You feel trapped, like a passenger on a runaway train, powerless to stop the crash. That's the first instinct: panic, rage, despair. And most people stay there. They live life reacting like a matchstick. One spark, and they're burning, consumed, directionless. But then something subtle happens, something most people miss. The realization creeps in that while you can't control the 10%, the curveballs and accidents and heartbreaks, there's something left. A choice. A power hidden in plain sight. Because the truth is, it's not the events that define you. It's your response. The storm isn't your destiny. The way you sail through it is. Imagine two people who lose their jobs on the same day. One erupts, blaming the company, the economy, the unfairness of it all. They spiral, shutting down, paralyzed by anger. The other pauses. They sit in the silence. They feel the sting, but instead of reacting, they start planning. Updating their resume. Calling old contacts. Mapping out the next step. The event is identical, but the outcomes? Entirely different worlds. That difference is the 90%, the power of choice. This is where your life is sculpted, not in the chaos you didn't choose, but in the decision you make right after. And if you listen closely, you'll hear it. A whisper in the middle of the storm. What happens next is up to you. The laboratory of life hears the truth. Every small event in your life is a test. A micro-decision. The universe handing you a piece of chalk and asking, what story will you write now? You spill coffee on your shirt before a big meeting. That's the 10%. The stain. The inconvenience. The frustration bubbling inside you. But what happens next? That's the 90%. Do you spiral into anger, cursing yourself, snapping at coworkers, arriving distracted and bitter? Or do you take a breath, change your shirt, arrive late but composed, and still crush the presentation? Same stain. Two completely different days. Or think about criticism, the kind that cuts deeper than you expected. Someone says words that make you feel small, stupid, unworthy. That's the 10%. You can't unsay their words. But the 90% is where the real battle begins. Do you spend the week replaying it in your head, shrinking, bitter, shutting down? Or do you pull the truth from it, using it as fuel to sharpen your edge, to grow? Here's what separates the people who thrive from the people who crumble. The masters of the 90% don't avoid pain. They transform it. They don't deny hardship. They embrace it as training ground. They know that while they can't stop the rain, they can choose whether to dance in it or drown. This is what most people miss. Reaction is a skill. It's not automatic, even if it feels that way. You can train yourself to pause before responding. To breathe. To ask, what can I actually control here? The traffic jam isn't ruining your day. Your fury about the traffic jam is. The mistake at work isn't the end of your career. Your spiral of shame is. The rejection isn't proof that you're unworthy. It's your decision to believe that story that makes it lethal. The 10-90 principle is simple but brutal. 10% of life is what happens to you. 90% is how you respond. And that 90%? That's where your freedom lives. That's where your strength hides. That's the part of life no one can take from you, unless you hand it over willingly. The compounding effect of choice: every reaction you choose is like a seed. One choice might feel small, but repeated day after day, these seeds grow into forests. And the forest you grow is the life you live. Picture this: you're at work, and someone delivers harsh feedback. Your first instinct screams, defend yourself, prove them wrong, fight for your worth. But you pause. You breathe. Instead of lashing out, you ask clarifying questions. You listen. You take what's useful and leave the rest. That one choice saves you hours of rumination. It builds trust with the person critiquing you. More importantly, it trains your nervous system to handle truth without shattering. You're not fragile. You can carry weight. Now multiply that by 1,000. Every time you choose response over reaction, you're making a deposit. Not into some cosmic karma bank, but into yourself, into your reputation, into your resilience, into your ability to handle what comes next. One deliberate choice to stay calm today might prevent a ruined relationship tomorrow. Choosing curiosity over defensiveness this week might open a door you didn't even know existed. Each small act compounds, reshaping the architecture of your life. This isn't about suppressing emotion or pretending pain doesn't exist. It's about recognizing the space between stimulus and response, the pause where your power lives. And when you choose differently over and over, your patterns change. The person who once panicked in small crises becomes the person others trust in big ones. The one who exploded at minor criticism becomes the one known for wisdom under fire. You don't just change your day, you change your identity. This is emotional intelligence in motion, rewiring your patterns, not by theory, but by practice. Every rude comment, every failure, every heartbreak becomes a chance, not to crumble, but to grow. Mastery of the 90%. Let's pull the lens back. Life isn't just a series of isolated events. It's a story. And the story is written not by what happens to you, but by how you respond. Think about yesterday. Maybe someone cut you off in traffic. Maybe your plans collapsed in an instant. Maybe someone you trusted betrayed you. Those are the earthquakes of life, the 10%. The first wave of reaction is human: anger, despair, defensiveness. But what you do next, that's the 90%. That's where your power lives. The truth is, life will never stop testing you. Some tests are pop quizzes, spilled coffee, rude comments. Others are final exams: loss, failure, heartbreak. But each test offers you the same fork in the road: reaction or response. Chaos or clarity. Reflex or intention. This is the mastery of the 90%. It's not about avoiding storms. It's about becoming the kind of person who sails through them. It's about training your mind to choose calm when panic feels natural, to choose patience when anger feels justified, to choose growth when despair whispers otherwise. And here's the gift. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. Every morning, before the first email, before the first argument, before the first disappointment, you get to choose. Who will I be today? Will I let the world control me? Or will I master the 90% that is mine to command? Because here's the secret. The person who controls their response controls their life. The person who carries composure through chaos becomes the anchor everyone else trusts. The person who chooses growth over bitterness, clarity over chaos, that person is unstoppable. The 10% will never stop coming. The accidents, the losses, the heartbreaks, they're relentless. But the 90%? That's yours. That's your canvas. That's where you paint the life you want to live, one deliberate choice at a time. So start now. Not tomorrow. Not when things are easier. Now, because the storm is already here, and your response is waiting. Choose it wisely.